Pileggi Technical Services, your computers and electronics concierge service. Welcome back. Well, as you can see, looking at the back end of my loaded vehicle here, because we're going on a little bit of a field trip today. That's right, we're going to do some work in the field. Well, not exactly in a field, but you get the idea. Well, without any further delay, let's get the wheels in motion. And here's our project for today. We have to install all of these LED fixtures. We're actually retrofitting the existing fixtures that are out here. We're taking them down, which are just the regular fluorescent lights, you know, the circular fluorescent lights, and we're just going to throw these in their place. There's also a couple other projects that I got to do today that we'll get out as well. Let's have to take a look at one of these. As we can see, these are sealed units. It's very easy to hook these up. You just have to connect the proper wires to the proper connections in the box, and just screw this into the box. It can't get any easier than this. It's just like every other light fixture, except there's less involved with it. There are these just quick tabs that will open once it gets installed in the ceiling, just like the existing fixtures already have. If we flip it over, you can see it's just got one of these domes on it. If you open it up, this one's kind of neat because it just has strips of LEDs. I have installed these kind of fixtures before, but usually it's just one big, circular circuit board in the middle with the LEDs kind of sporadically spread out. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the... This should be your power supply. Interesting, they run on 34 volts. It's pretty neat. Existing fixtures. There's one in there. And these are the LED fixtures. There's another one down there. Got them all prepped. And there we go. Here's one of them put in there. Sorry for the lack of audio in the last clip. There's people in these offices before I couldn't really talk. But yeah, that lights up this hallway pretty nicely. It looks a little kind of blue on the camera, but I assure you it's not really that blue. Once I put the diffuser on, it's going to make it look a lot nicer. If you compare the color and the light intensity to this, to these older fluorescents out here, you see that's a much nicer look than this. Here's a little progress update. We have one light done here, 2 lights done there, and then we have a nice one over here above the stairs. That's going to be interesting. And then we have this one, which is completely dead. Well, working, but you can see it's not in the best shape. So this is actually going to light this hallway up pretty nicely. I wanted to get a before shot so you can see what it looks like. The new fixtures actually match the old fixtures that I put in a few months ago pretty nicely. These two are on the most out of all of them because they are the main entrance to this building. Well, I came up with a solution to get to the light as best as I could. I do have one of these expanding ladders, so this works pretty good. However, I haven't been documenting every single one of these installs. I've just been showing you the kind of after effect as I'm going along. But this particular unit here showed me a very scary thing. If I zoom in here, you'll see I've removed one of the bulbs. But whoever did this before me decided it was a good idea to make the connection right above one of those bulbs. Yeah. In case you didn't know, those wires aren't supposed to be brown, they're supposed to be white. That's a load of fun. And I can't really reach that well from where I am in this ladder. Oh. Yeah. It got so hot the wire nuts are cracking. And also, every single one of these fixtures has had more wires in it than I think necessary for this kind of circuit. It should just jump from one light to another. But yet I found two lights either end of the hallway here that had its own end. So it clearly didn't go from switch all the way around in a loop. It went from one light to another, and then it split off and went to the left and one went to the right, and yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to turn this on real quick and you can see the one over here. Lights that hallway up nice now. Much better than what was there. Oh, we're getting there. So far it looks good now. I still got to do these two bathrooms, and then when I'm done up here, I got to do the light at the bottom of the stairs. Well, the solution with this one ended up being to mount it on an angle like this instead of straight how it was, simply because the way the box is lined up, the screws are lined up, there's no plate in this one. I really don't have a safe way of getting up there. Also, if this cover has to come off, one of the latches is to the left and the other one's to the right, so standing here you could actually take the cover off. There's nothing in the back. This will actually make it easier to service, but these things really aren't serviceable, so it's kind of a moot point, I guess. But when they have to come back down, it'll make it easier for the next person, and probably 50 years from now it'll have to be replaced. Also, you could see from the old fixture when the place was painted that it had a bunch of anchors holding it in. It was a heavier fixture, and whenever it was painted, it was just painted up to the light. So now, when this room gets repainted again, that'll all get filled in and fixed. The light is also moved further outward over the stairs from where the original light was. That's why the light was wired the way it was. Somebody just drilled a hole in it, put a lock nut with the wires ran through, and connected the wires inside the light fixture. I was surprised because some of these didn't have boxes behind it, and this particular light did, but the way it was wired up didn't make much sense. And then I realized it's because they couldn't get to it. Alright, now we're on to the next task, which is going to be the light in this bathroom. And also, we're going to replace the switch in here, which first of all it's kind of faulty, as you can see. And we're also going to put the light, we're going to put the fan together with the switch here with a occupancy sensor. So this light will actually shut off when there's nobody in here. So I went to kill the power up here for this bathroom to change the switch out over there, as you can see coming out of the wall. And I thought it was going to be in one of these two panels, which would make sense. However, the circuit is not part of that panel. So there's a storefront downstairs, who actually the owner of the building's storefront. So of course that's the main panel down there, which not only feeds his store but feeds the entire upstairs hallway here. All these fixtures I'm replacing, plus the two bathrooms, are all powered by a 15 amp circuit, which of course is down the stairs, through that door, out to the right, and the building next to it. And here we have the final job. So this is set up to be a vacancy mode, which is when you push this button, the light comes on and the fan comes on, and then it detects your presence in this room. And then once you walk out the room, it'll keep the light and the fan on for about a minute. And all this is programmable by either pushing this button and holding it in and waiting for the LED light behind this white shield to flash. And you would look at the manual and let go of the button when it's at the mode you want. And then behind the switch plate, there's actually another button for setting whether you want it to come auto on or auto off or whatnot. I chose to go with the manual mode because that way you can come into the bathroom, push the thing, turn the light and fan on, and then walk out and not have to worry about it. And if you don't shut it off, it goes off after a minute. And as you can see, I'll back up. I also did the light up here as well. Both bathrooms are done. I have one more light to do, which is at the bottom of the stairs, and I'm going to do that on my way out. As you can see, that's the last light done. So that's 2 bathrooms and I think 6 lights altogether in the hallway here. Everything's all cleaned up. I managed to vacuum the floor when I was done and throw everything away in the dumpster that we didn't need anymore. With that, I'd like to thank you for watching and see you next time.